So, we're here today in the garage again with the Budget Build Pro Street C10. I am so sorry. I did not mean to hit you like... No, wait, you like it.
She likes it rough.
She likes it rough. Anyways, because she likes it rough, we're going to sand her entire body down.
Yeah. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Twisted Edition. I'm Rick. This is Nate. And we are, like we said before, sanding today.
Yeah, in order to go and sand, we actually got to take this bed off once again. This was a pain, but this should be the last time we got to unbolt it so we can get behind the cab and in front of the bed. So, let's go do that first. Today is a good day. Anyways, if you haven't seen our bed of the C10, it is actually custom made slightly. In order to describe this bed, it is better for me and for you to be visual learners. So let's go visually learn what we did to this bed. We have the bed frame out made from these wonderful angle irons. These are actually the original rails from the bed. We wanted to change the height of the bed to match that line on the cab with this upper line on the fender. So we dropped this bed by this rail being above here to underneath, which dropped us our 2 inches, which made the bed sit right where we want. And right here too, when I get it undone, we actually have this part of the mount. And they have bushings just like here, which are actually old school style bushings from recycled hockey pucks.
This step is like awkwardly up here. I always said it would look much better if it was closer to the bottom. So we made it that way.
We got all the bolts out, and like I was saying with the hockey pucks, we actually used hockey pucks for the rear here. These guys are actually body lift bushings, so everything else is sitting on where it's supposed to be.
It's really funny because they don't make a body mount that's bushing that's this size, and this was exactly the size we needed to fit that hole.
Like I was saying earlier, we could slide the whole bed back in order to sand in between the cab and the bed.
Now, this is the first time we're attempting this, and the roll bar might create a little bit of a havoc. So we don't know how smooth this is going to go.
All right.
Wherever it sets down, it sets down. What are we hitting?
Nothing that I can see.
Actually, that might be enough.
All right, you gotta see me. I should know.
Yeah, probably. We got the bed moved back just enough so that this guy can get his hand in there to sand. We're gonna speed this up. It's gonna be like 2 seconds for you guys, probably a couple hours for us. But we're gonna sand this thing. We're just putting epoxy primer down. It's just a sealer. It will probably, maybe, eventually get painted one day. But for now, at least it'll be all one color for the show. We are done with sanding the body, and granted, you're not gonna really see too much of a difference besides, you know, some extra white peeking through on the body. The back side of the door is painted, the outside's scuffed up. We have the hood that's going on and the tailgate that's also getting Bondo work. We did a lot of that stuff off camera because we didn't want to go and bug you, but we wanted to get you back in because we have a new piece. Yeah, while we're waiting for the Bondo to dry, well, we haven't mentioned it yet, but the original drive shaft was too long because it had a long tail shaft turbo 400 in it, and we went to a car, which is a short tail shaft. Anyways, our drive shaft wouldn't work. That being said, I was going to buy a strange chromoly drive shaft, strong, ready for the trans brake and everything, and come to find out our drive shaft is now too long for a chromoly drive shaft. Anything over 50 or 52 inches has to be an aluminum or fiberglass. So I couldn't order a brand new chromoly one like I wanted, and I called up the aluminum drive shaft guys, I forget their names, and they couldn't get me one on time. Luckily, our buddy Mike had a 2005 aluminum drive shaft shaft laying around. We cut about 18 inches off of this thing and went down to the machine shop and he re-welded the end back on it. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a balancer for a drive shaft, but we're gonna give it a try because we only have a week left. We needed a drive shaft. In order to make this drive shaft work, we needed to buy a new slip yoke for the train. This slip yoke comes in the heavy duty 1350, but this is a U-joint of a 1410. Luckily, they make an adapter joint, Nepco, that will get you from a 1350 to a 1410 together. It should work. And the other end is going to be exactly the same. The rear housing takes a 1350, and it's the same exact U-joint on the other end. We got the itty bitty yoke on the big bad drive shaft, and we're going to put it in. Can't tell. This drive shaft is humongous, and we might have issues with clearance.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Oh, duh, we could have just turned the rear.
I didn't know that was the problem you were having.
Yeah, I was thinking how we were going to spin it, and then I forgot that we could just turn the rear.
Anyways, it's in. You know what this marks?
What?
We are one step closer to actually driving this thing, which is
actually, yeah,
awesome. Because so far, this truck has been having a Bluetooth drive shaft, which is just driving on hopes and dreams and our freaking 2 feet.
Yeah. We might actually be able to move it.
We got a lot of sanding done. We put up some tarps because this is our new paint booth. It's too windy outside.
Yeah, we want to spray outside, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
So we're gonna go and fix up the paper that the wind tore up, and then we're gonna start going shh.
Not that you can hear me, but we're ready to paint.
It's been a day and we got paint set and somewhat dried, at least dried enough that we feel comfortable working around it. But that matte black, it's all nice and pretty. Rick and Squirrel are right now putting the bumper back on. I was just tidying up some wiring inside the cab, and oh wow, you could really tell how dark it is. But we are slowly working more and more and getting the final touches done on the C10. While we're upgrading the paint and the body look, we decided to get rid of the old turn signal and headlights. We went to LEDs. So these are gonna be nice and bright. These are our new turn signals, new headlights. Let's go and install them real quick. We got that side of our paint booth all undone. Rick's opening the garage door because we're pushing this girl outside. Ooh. But we are pulling her outside because we got to make room to paint the hood, the doors, and the tailgate.
I guess we got most of the lighting done. We are going to continue painting the doors, the tailgate, the hood, and all the accessories.
We have the doors, the hood, we have the tailgate hung up, and we have our little cow. Rick's just wiping everything down, making sure everything is nice and dry, and we'll be ready to paint soon.
Seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
But this is it. This is the last little bit of us needing to paint to make everything match, and then it's gonna be all put together. Let's get these done.
And just like that, we have painted parts. Now everything's dried for 2 days, I guess. And we can now put the doors on.
I'm just gonna try to get 3 bolts in and then go down a little. Ooh, watch. In. Bring it in. Bring it in. And.
No, we didn't cover this side. Are we brave enough?
Yep, we're brave enough. Watch your pinky. Anyways, we're gonna go and tighten them up, adjust them where they need to be. The last you've seen was us putting the doors on, and well, now she's loaded on the trailer.
Yeah, we really had some crunch time. There's a lot of changes that we actually did. We had a cow hood for it. No longer. It's going to be a flat hood because the cow hood was all cracked. We took it for a drive and we suck a lot of gas.
And we started off with a 10-gallon fuel cell, and we decided that it'd probably be best to upgrade to a 20-gallon fuel cell.
Yeah, the 10-gallon would have been fine if I was just going to the strip and maybe like real local. But we went through half of a 10-gallon in a couple miles, so.
We also had some vapor lock issues with the fuel cells, so we added a whole turnover valve and a vapor canister just so the fuel tank could breathe.
Yeah, so you guys, unfortunately, we didn't get to video a lot because we were on crunch time. We literally had 4 days. We just literally finished painting the hood yesterday.
And this truck is going out tomorrow morning to drive the 8 hours down to North Carolina for
Outer Banks.
Stay tuned for the next video, because the next video we're going to be showing is us actually driving this around. We got a couple of ideas of videos we have for the truck in the future, and stay tuned because we're going to be hitting our next project very soon. So definitely stay tuned. See you on the next shenanigans.
Check out those headlights.
Oh yeah.
Later, guys.